So this is the list of top 10 most subscribed YouTube channels. Do you see a pattern? Wait, let me sort them by nationality. Do you see the pattern now? 4 of the top 10 YouTube channels are Indian, and more Indian channels are in the top 10 than any other country. Compare this to only 4 years ago, and 0 Indian channels are in the top 10, or the top 15, or the top 20, or the top 25.
2,000 years later.
Just one Indian YouTube channel in the top 100. So, how did India take over YouTube in the last 4 years? Let's talk population for a second. If you didn't already know, this is what the world's population distribution looks like. Yes, not very uniform. China and India have 36.6% of the world's total population. Over 2.8 billion people live in these two countries. But if it was about population, China has way more people. Also, these percentages have been relatively unchanged for the last few decades. So why is India rising now? While China does have a large presence on the internet in China is highly censored. The Chinese government regularly bans content on social media sites, which makes their internet very different from the rest of the world, to the point where they have their own Facebook, their own Google, and their own YouTube. These are the top 10 websites in China. And if you're not from China, chances are you've never heard of them. Which leaves us India. But unfortunately, India was not doing very well in terms of internet connectivity. Around 66% of all people in India live in rural areas, whereas 22% of the population lives below poverty line. This leaves out a huge chunk of population unconnected. Even for the above poverty line middle class Indians who live in cities, internet services are very expensive. Internet was only for businesses, upper middle class, and richer people. Most of the internet was provided through telephone wiring to businesses and houses. If you wanted to use internet on your smartphone, it had to be done via Wi-Fi. You could get internet through your SIM card, but it was expensive and painfully slow. That was until September of 2016. The fourth generation of internet connection, that is 4G, was just introduced by major telecom providers like Airtel and Vodafone. Internet was getting faster, but connectivity and cost were still major problems. Mukesh Ambani launched Jio on 5th September 2016. Reliance Industries had been in the telecom sector for decades, but were not very successful in the sector. Jio had to compete in the already overcrowded telecom sector with giants like Airtel and Vodafone. So what's the easiest way to get Indians to buy your product? Give it away for free. In the launch event, Mukesh Ambani announced that Jio will be providing free 4G internet connection all over India for the next 6 months. And people lost their minds. Almost everyone went and got a Jio SIM card. For the first time in history, internet was not only faster but widespread and most importantly free. Most of the population already had a smartphone, so now most of them could also use the internet. Also, it is important to note that Mukesh Ambani didn't do this for social welfare. It was just a very clever marketing strategy and he obviously earned a ton of profit through it. So now suddenly millions of people have new internet access. Before the internet, the only form of entertainment they knew of were TV and Bollywood. So now that they can access internet, they obviously do not go searching for Pewdiepie or MKBHD or Casey Neistat. These people in fact have no idea who they are. They search for Bollywood movies and songs and TV soaps. And sure enough, T-Series is waiting for them with a thali and diya in their hands. T-Series started getting more and more subscribers and their channel started to grow exponentially. So much so that in March of 2019, T-Series surpassed PewDiePie, who was the most subscribed YouTuber for the past 6 years. T-Series became the biggest channel on YouTube. T-Series went on to become the first YouTube channel to cross 100 million subscribers just 1 month later. On their journey to number 1, many Bollywood celebrities showed their support towards T-Series and expressed how they were so glad that an Indian channel was going on the top. What most of them didn't realize was T-Series versus PewDiePie was never about India versus UK or India versus the world. It was rather about independent creators versus big studios. YouTube was built from the ground up by independent creators like PewDiePie. T-Series can care a lot less about being number 1 on YouTube. It is a huge company that makes overproduced songs and movies. They can easily have their content on so many traditional platforms, but individual creators cannot. And while competition is good in every industry for improving products and services, it is very difficult for individual creators who struggle every day to write, perform, record, animate, edit, and publish their videos to compete against giants like T-Series, ZTV, Set India, or even Vivo Music. So I hope you can keep supporting more and more individual creators by liking, commenting, subscribing, and clicking that bell. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. We will become #1 on YouTube. Yes. India will dominate YouTube charts. Yes. Traditional media is dying. Yeah. Yes बोलो वरना पैसा नहीं मिलेगा. Yes.
Hey, congratulations to your corporation. Get to be one Swedish boy, you need a billion Asians. Yeah, you did it very nice, and all it took was a massive corporate entity with every song in Bollywood. Now you're at #1. Hope you did nothing wrong.